I'm taking this very seriously. We're live, we're watching the world. Let's play free. It's not my best understanding.
Okay, let's resume. Right. Next up tonight, it is the plate final, which I'll introduce your team and hand you over to Ian, who's going to officiate this one. On the left, they're rather good at this. Third final in a row. Fourth knockout final in a row. Finals night wouldn't be finals night without Jan. Seat 1 we've got Will, seat 2 Michael, seat 3 Beth, and seat 4 Simon. Okay, and across the table from them is a special welcome to one of our very new teams. Two months on it, all of you were at New Players Night back in February, yeah, most of you were. So very well done and welcome. We have got in seat 1 Sean, in seat 2 Steve, in seat 3 Nancy, and in seat 4 Anastasia. Very best of luck, over to you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so Jan have won the toss and have elected to go first. The scores at the beginning of the match, Jan start with 9 points, Missing R start with 24. So, questions were set by Quistrix, ended by Dave McBride, correct for playing today. Round 1, 1A to Will. Joan of Arc was one of the most famous historical victims of which method of execution?
Burned at the stake.
She was burned at the stake, yes. 2 points. 1B, Sean. Ceuta, C-E-U-T-A, is one of 2 Spanish enclaves on the coast of Morocco. Which is the other?
Steve.
Melilla is right, yes. 4 points, Steve. 2A, Michael. Which teen drama series, whose name refers to its Californian location, originally ran from 1990 to 2000, with stars including Jason Priestley and Shannon Doherty? Beverly Hills 90210 gets 2 points. 2B, Steve. What name is given to the male reproductive organ of a flower that produces pollen? These are each composed of a filament and an anther, and are collectively known as the androecium.
Stamen.
The stamen is right, yes. Point to Anastasia. (3A), Beth. In Spanish cooking, which term names the crispy browned layer of rice that appears at the bottom of a properly cooked paella? The name comes from a Spanish word meaning to burn or to scorch. To the team. It is not a scooch-on, goes across. Big mouse, please.
Fuero.
It's not, no, this is something called socarat. So that goes for an X. 3D, Nancy. in the name of a popular interactive fiction series of children's game books, the first of which was created by Edward Packard in 1979, CYOA stood for Choose Your Own What?
Adventure.
Adventure is right, 2 points. For A. Simon. Joining the group after the death of their previous singer, who has been the lead singer on every AC/DC album since the 1980s, Back in Black. Team. It's not Angus Young that goes across.
Brian Johnson.
It is Brian Johnson, yes. Point to Sean. And 4B to Anastasia. The Premier League's Manager of the Month award has been running since the 1993-94 season. Among its earliest winners was which Norwich City manager for October 1993? He moved to Everton 3 months later.
Joe Royle.
Not Joe Royle, goes across. Not David Moyes.
Mike Walker.
It's Mike Walker, yes, Mike Walker. So that goes for an X. Hang on. That's right. That's the 1. That's 2. Stay with us. Yeah. 3 for X. 3 to B for 2 points. That's what it is. Okay, so that was 4 to Jan in that round, taking them to 13. 5 to Missing R's, taking them to 29. Round 2, question 1A to Will. Which competitor in the current Premier League of darts is the defending champion, having won his first title in 2024? Not Humphreys, he goes across. It is Luke the Nuke Littler, yes. 1B, Sean. Which form of poker was the title of a 2024 UK #1 hit single by Beyonce?
Texas Hold'em.
Texas Hold'em for 2 points. 2A, Michael. Junctions consisting of a circle of mini roundabouts are officially called ring junctions, but more popularly known by what name after a children's TV series first shown in 1965? One of the best known examples is the one in Swindon. Magic roundabouts is correct for 2 points. 2B, Steve. After 15 years in power, who resigned as Prime Minister of Bangladesh in 2024, following weeks of anti-government protests against her authoritarian regime? Sheikh Hasina is absolutely right, yes, point to Nancy. 3A, Beth. What adjective describes hydrocarbons such as benzene that contain one or more cyclically conjugated rings? Compounds without such structures are called aliphatic instead. Aromatic is right for 2. 3B, Nancy. Which Doctor Who actor appears as Tony Lord Baddingham in the TV series Rivals, based on the Jimmy Cooper novel of the same name? David Tennant, 2 points. 4A, Simon. In which mythology is the physical world said to have originated from parts of the body of Pangu, a horned, hairy giant who was born from a cosmic egg?
Norse.
Second?
Norse.
Not Norse, no, goes across.
Chinese.
Chinese is right, yes.
Wow.
Point to Anastasia. And your own question. In the title of a 1961 spoken word LP, rated as one of the worst albums ever on Rate Your Music, which American actor turned politician speaks out against socialized medicine?
I have to
Ronald Reagan is right for a point. So end of round 2, another 4 there for Jan, taking them to 17, but 8 for Missing Arts, taking them to 37. Round 3, 1A to Will. ECC is an approach to secure public key cryptography. The last C in the name stands for cryptography, while the first EC stands for which mathematical objects, also central to the problem of the Birch and Swinnerton-Dyer conjecture. Team.
Empty cage.
It is not empty cage, goes across. The answer, please.
Complex numbers and exponential.
It's not, no, it's elliptic curve. So, as an X. 1B, Sean. What is the first name of the central character in the Creed series of sequels to the Rocky franchise? Played by Michael B. Jordan, he is the son of Rocky's former opponent, Apollo Creed. To the team. Not Saturn, goes across. It is not Alan Creed. It is Adonis Creed, or Donis. Another X. 2A, Michael. Pat Parker's Regeneration trilogy, consisting of the novels Regeneration, The Eye in the Door, and The Ghost Road, is set during which war? First World War is right, 2 points. 2B, Steve. According to a long-running advertising slogan, first coined in 1947 for De Beers, what type of gemstone is forever? Diamonds are indeed forever. Wasn't that bad? 3A, Beth. 2 more than in rugby league, how many players make up a rugby union team? 15 is right, 2 points. Nancy, 3B. Lovsanker is the national anthem of which island country? The music and lyrics for it were written respectively by its countrymen Sven Bjornsson and Matthias Jochumsen.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah. Lovsanker is the national anthem of which island country? The music and lyrics for it were written respectively by its countrymen Sven Bjornsson and Matthias Jochumsen.
Iceland.
That's right, Iceland for 2 points. 4A, Simon. Which river, 2,250 kilometers in length, is the longest in Venezuela and forms part of the border with Colombia on its way to the Atlantic Ocean?
Maracaibo.
It's not the Maracaibo, it goes across. It is the Orinoco. And 4B, Anastasia. Which US president was shot non-fatally while on the campaign trail in 1912 and carried the bullet in his chest for the rest of his life? Theodore Roosevelt is correct for 2 points. So 4 again in that round for Jan, taking them to 21. 7 to Missing R's. So the score is now 21 plays 44 after 3 rounds. Round 4, 1A to Will. Ailurophobia, that's A-I-L-U-R-O phobia, is a fear of what type of animals? Cats. Cats is correct for 2 points. Sean, one of the highlights of the Tate Britain Gallery is which artist's painting of Flatford Mill on the River Stour? This landscape painter is known for his many bucolic depictions of the Suffolk countryside. Constable's right, 2 points. John Constable. 2A, Michael. Fountains of Rome and Roman Festivals were 2 of 3 tone poems honouring the Italian capital by composer Ottorino Respighi. What was the third, whose title references a type of tree? Team? No, goes across. It's not, no, it's Pines of Rome, or Pinni di Roma. So that is an X. And 2B, Steve. Which 2024 video game that won several Game of the Year awards sees the player control the titular small robot, who had previously featured in his Playroom in an earlier game of the series? It's not Roblox, goes across. Astrobot is correct for a point to Michael. 3A, Beth. Which politician had served as both a Conservative and Labour MP before founding the political party he is most known for, who were known for short as the BUF? Mosley, yeah, Oswald Mosley, yes, 2 points. 3B to Nancy. Bastia is the second largest city on which island? The 4th largest in the Mediterranean Sea. Corsica is correct, 2 points. And 4A, Simon. The soap opera Poboli Cum, whose title means People of the Valley, is set in which one of the home nations? Wales is right for 2 points. And 4B to Anastasia. Also called erythrocytes, what are the most common type of blood cells? Shaped like an indented disc, they make up over 40% of blood volume.
Red blood cells.
Red blood cells, absolutely right for 2 points. Okay, end of the round. That was 7 to Jan, taking them to 28, and 6 to Missing R's, taking them to 50. So half time, and we reverse the order of play. So round 5, 1A goes to Sean. What adjective describes aliphatic hydrocarbons, such as alkanes, that only contain single bonds, with no double or triple bonds? It's not unsaturated, it goes across. Saturated, yes. One being Will. Which star of Being Human and Poldark appears as Declan O'Hara in the TV series Rivals, based on the chili fupinol of the same name? Not Gillen, goes across.
Aidan Turner.
It is Aidan Turner, point to Nancy. Okay, 2A then, Steve. In which mythology was the physical world said to have been constructed from the dismembered body parts of the primordial goddess Tiamat?
Sumerian.
I can take Sumerian, yeah? Babylonian, Mesopotamian, Sumerian, Assyrian, Akkadian. 2B to Michael. Which actor, nicknamed the Duke, recorded the 1973 LP of patriotic poems, America, Why I Love Her? Despite garnering a Grammy nomination, it has received an average of just 1 out of 5 stars on Rate Your Music. That is John Wayne. Three A, Nancy. Which competitor in the current Premier League of darts is the most successful in its history, having won it a record 7 times between 2013 and 2023?
Van Gogh.
Michael Van Gerwen gets you 2 points. Three B, Beth. Which one of the 5 senses was the title of a 2024 UK #1 hit single by Sabrina Carpenter? Team. Taste is right, point roll. 4A, Anastasia. What word beginning with G denotes a roundabout or rotary junction with large and non-standard arrangements? One of the best known examples is the one on Hanger Lane in Ealing. Gyratory is right, point to Steve. And 4B, Simon. Who has been the acting Prime Minister of Bangladesh since the resignation of Sheikh Hasina last August? He won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2006 for pioneering the modern concept of microcredit and microfinance. It is Mohammed Yunus, yes. So end of the round, 6 to Jan for 34, 5 to Mr. Nars for 55. Round 6, 1A, Sean. In Iranian cuisine, which term names the crispy golden rice at the bottom of a pan in traditional recipes? The name comes from the Persian for bottom of the pan. Team? That is going over. No, it is called Tahdig. Tahdig. 1B to Will. Beginning in 1982, Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone created a popular series of children's role-playing game books. What word for a genre of fiction completes the alliterative name for that series? Fighting blank. Fantasy is correct for 2 points. Steve, 2A. Replacing the original singer Dave Evans in 1974, who was the singer on AC/DC's first 7 albums, Up to Highway to Hell. He died in 1980 to be replaced by Brian Johnson. That is Bon Scott, yes. Point to Sean. 2B, Michael. Another winner of the Premier League Manager of the Month award in its first season was which Oldham Athletic manager for February 1994? He moved to Everton 9 months later.
That's Joe Royal.
That is Joe Royal, yes. Point to Simon.
Who managed Ipswich just bounced the Champions Derby.
3A, Nancy. The breaking wheel, a historic method of execution, is also known as which saint's wheel? She was supposedly due to be executed on the wheel, but was decapitated instead after it broke at her touch.
Catherine.
St. Catherine's right, 2 points. 3B, Beth. A pair of islands off the coast of Newfoundland form a French overseas collectivity and are the last vestiges of New France. They are Saint-Pierre and which other? Team? Miquelon is correct, yes. Point to Simon. 4A, Anastasia. Which teen drama series, whose name refers to its Californian location, originally ran from 2003 to 2007, with stars including Misha Barton, Ben McKenzie, and Adam Brody? Team?
It's the OC.
It is the OC, point to Nancy. And 4B, Simon. What name is given to the sticky surface that receives pollen at the tip of the carpel, or female reproductive organ of a flower? These are usually connected to the ovary by the style. It's not a sepal that goes across. It is a stigma, yes. Point to Steve. So 4 to Jan for 38, 5 to Missing R's for 60. 2 rounds to go. Round 7, 1A, Sean. Which newspaper and supporter of the British Union of Fascists printed its infamous Hurrah for the Black Shirts editorial in 1934, written by its proprietor, Lord Rothermere? Daily Mail is absolutely right. 2 points. 1B, Will. Chania, that's Chania, is the second largest city on which island? The 5th largest in the Mediterranean Sea. Crete is right. Point to Michael. 2A, Steve. The soap opera Take the High Road, which took its title from a line in the folk song Loch Lomond, was set in which one of the home nations? Scotland is right. Michael. Red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets are all suspended in which fluid? The liquid that makes up about 55% of blood volume. Plasma's right. 2 points. Nancy. Cynophobia, C-Y-N-O phobia, is a fear of what type of animals? Dogs is right, yes. Point to Anastasia. Three B, Beth. Tate Britain also houses which artist and poet's unusual portrait of Isaac Newton, shown naked and sitting on a rocky outcrop with a pair of compasses? This was the basis for Edoardo Palozzi's statue Newton outside the British Library. William Blake, absolutely right, 2 points. 4A, Anastasia. The 19th century composer Joseph Canteloube is best known for his chants or songs, named for which cultural region of south central France? Among these songs, the Bailero is perhaps the most familiar.
Provence?
Not Provence, goes across. Not the Camargue, no, it is the Auvergne. And finally, Simon. Which award-winning 2024 video game, based on the classic Chinese novel Journey to the West, sees the player control the titular monkey protagonist? Team. It is not Hanuman, goes across.
The myth of Wukong. The black Wukong, the black myth.
Black myth Wukong is exactly right, yes. So 5 in round 7 to Jan, taking that to 43. 6 to Missing R's, taking that to 66. 43, 66, 1 round to go. Okay, round 8. Some of the crowd on the pitch.
They're writing.
Okay, round 8. Settle down. Question 1A to Sean. In rugby union, how many players on each team form the scrum? This number is also used as the name of a position, the rearmost player in the scrum. 8 is correct for 2 points. Will. Hymnus is the national anthem of which landlocked European country? The music and lyrics for it were written respectively by its countrymen Ferenc Erkel and Ferenc Kolschi. Hungary is absolutely right, 2 points. 2A, Steve. Which Which river, 2,430 kilometres in length, is the longest in South Africa and forms part of the border with Namibia on its way to the Atlantic Ocean? The Orange River gets you 2 points. 2B, Michael. At his trial, William Schrank, who shot Theodore Roosevelt in 1912, claims to have been instructed to do so in a dream by the ghost of which assassinated president?
Lincoln.
Not Lincoln, goes across. It is William McKinley, Montanazzi. And Nancy, your own question. The security of elliptic curve cryptography relies on the hardness of the DLP. In that abbreviation, P stands for problem, while DL represents which mathematical quantity? The difficulty in computing this is central to the Diffie-Hellman problem. Team?
Differential Lagrangian.
It's not, goes across.
Double logarithm.
Oh, discrete logarithm. Beth, 3B. What is the first name of the character played by the German actor Florian Munteanu? Sorry, let's try again. Munteanu in the sequels Creed 2 and Creed 3, who is the son of Ivan Drago, Rocky's Russian opponent from Rocky 4. It's not Igor, so it goes across.
Hands.
It's not Hans either, no, it is Victor. For A to Anastasia. A more recent trilogy by Pat Barker, beginning with 2018's The Silence of the Girls, retells the story of which war from a female perspective? It is the Trojan War. Point to Nancy. And finally, Simon. A long-running advertising slogan, first coined in 1917 for the FTDA in America, and used for many years by their UK equivalent Interflora, encourages people to say it with what? Flowers is absolutely right. Gets you 2 points. So the last round was 4 to Jan, 6 to Missing R's, who wins 72 to 47. That's it.
Thank you, Ian. Great final. Congratulations, Jan. We'll see you at next time. Mr. R's coming at your side. You play.